still knows your shadow's name. It lingers in the picture frames. Dust dances where your laughter stayed, like sunlight trying not to fade. I walk these halls in silent shoes, collecting pieces of the truth. You built a fire, then watched it burn, and left me with the smoke to learn. You swore forever in the dark, then disappeared before the spark. Now I'm talking to the echoes you left behind. Every memory's a ghost that still survives. You buried us beneath 1,000 but the echoes you left behind still call my name at night. The river keeps your secrets safe. It carries all the words you gave, promises like paper boats, sinking where nobody knows. The moonlight paints your silhouette across the scars I can't forget. You broke the glass, but somehow still I'm picking fragments from the chill. You swore forever in the dark, then vanished like a falling star. Now I'm talking to the echoes you left behind. Every memory's a ghost that still survives. You buried us beneath 1,000 alibis, but the echoes you left behind still call my name at night. And if your heart still wanders here through every season, every year, you'll find me standing where we stood, among the ruins of the good. The silence learned your favorite song. It sings when everything is wrong. A choir made of shattered dreams, still haunting every in-between. Now I'm dancing with the echoes you left behind, turning broken pieces into lullabies. You try to disappear, but time won't let you hide, 'cause the echoes you left behind still live between the lines. The house still knows your shadow's name, and I still whisper it the same to the echoes you left behind. The garden grew without your hands, vines crawling through forgotten plans. The summer air still holds your voice, like echoes trapped between a choice. The windows wear a silver haze, dust collecting on our yesterdays. I hear footsteps in the rain, though you're 1,000 miles away. You left your shadow in the hall, but never stayed to watch it fall. Now I wonder where the wildflowers died, where our promises sleep beneath the night. You built a kingdom out of borrowed light, then and disappeared before sunrise. And every star that used to guide me home turns colder every time I'm alone. I'm still searching through the silence you designed, where the wildflowers died, where the wildflowers died. The river carries your disguise downstream beneath the moonlit skies. I watch it swallow every word of all the truths I never heard. Your memory hangs like an old portrait, beautiful but hard to face, a masterpiece of what we were, fading slowly from its frame. You left your shadow in the hall, but never stayed to break the fall. Now I wonder where the wildflowers died, where our promises sleep beneath the night. You built a kingdom out of borrowed light, then disappeared before sunrise. And every star that used to guide me home turns colder every time I'm alone. I'm still searching through the silence you designed, where the wildflowers die, where the wildflowers die. Maybe ghosts are just old memories, wearing faces we can't leave behind. Maybe love becomes a haunting song when two hearts run out of time. I still see you in the empty rooms, dancing with the fading moon, a phantom stitched into my mind, a story time refused to hide. Now I wonder where the wildflowers died, where the pieces of forever still survive. You try to leave, but every goodbye still echoes through these sleepless nights. And every scar became a constellation, drawing maps across my devastation. I'm still standing where you drew the line, where the wildflowers died. The garden grows without your hands, but somehow still remembers them. And every bloom that meets the light knows where the wildflowers died. I wore black to the memory of everything we used to be. The chapel bells rang soft and low for a love buried long ago. The roses wilted in my hands like promises written in sand. The wind recited every lie you left beneath the winter sky. You stood there like a stranger's ghost, watching me mourn what hurt the most. At the funeral of us tonight, I watched the candles lose their light. You came dressed in your innocence, but your fingerprints were evidence. Now every prayer falls from above onto the grave of our old love, and every tear becomes enough to flood the ruins of us. to leave a scar today. The choir sang a hollow tune beneath the pale October moon. Each note became another name for all the ways you walked away. You stood there like a stranger's ghost, haunting what I love the most. At the funeral of us tonight, I watched the candles lose their light. You came dressed in your innocence, but your fingerprints were evidence. Now every prayer falls from above onto the grave of our old love, and every tear becomes enough to flood the ruins of us. Maybe heaven keeps a room for hearts abandoned much too soon. Maybe somewhere time rewrites the endings that we couldn't fight. But here beneath the fading stars, I gather pieces of my heart like shattered glass beneath the rain, trying not to say your name. At the funeral of us tonight, the last flame vanished from my sight. You stood beside the wreckage there, like you had never placed it there. Now every scar becomes a map of roads that never led me back, and every tear becomes a flood, washing away the ghost of us. The bells have stopped, the flowers fade, the vows have turned to yesterday. But sometimes in the midnight hush, I still hear the funeral of us. It's 2 a.m. and the porch light is still on, like somehow it knows you're gone. Your coffee cup sits by the sink, exactly where you left it, I think. The radio plays our favorite song, and for a second I sing along. Then I remember you're not here, and silence fills the atmosphere. Funny how a house can feel so small when the one you love isn't there at all. And I still see your headlights in the rain, fading slowly down that old 2 lane. I saw you turn around before the county line, but you kept driving out of sight. Now every midnight feels the same, every memory whispers your name, and I keep replaying goodbye, the night you drove away. I found your jacket in the hall, still hanging where you left it all. The scent of your cologne remains like a ghost I can't explain. My friends say time will make it right, but time just stretches out the night, and every star above this town feels a little dimmer now. Funny how the world keeps moving on while I'm still standing where you're roads I used to know. And somewhere underneath that sky, you're living a different life. Still I see your headlights in the rain, like a movie I can't walk away from. Since the night you drove away, it's 2 a.m. and the porch lights still on. Though deep down I know you're gone, but some part of me still waits. Since the night you drove away. Station lights were fading out as your train disappeared south. I watched the smoke become the sky and take the last of you from mine. A paper cup, a worn out seat, your fingerprints still next to me, like evidence of what we had. A photograph that's turning black. Some stories end without a sound, just two hearts drifting farther out, where letters never sent, words that never found their way, two dreamers crossing different tracks, watching love pull away. Beautiful in the beginning, fragile in the end. We became a memory, like letters never sent. The seasons changed outside my door, but I still looked for you before the morning sun touched every room, as if it knew what we'd been through. I found your name inside a book, written where I never looked, a quiet ghost between the lines, living somewhere back in time. Some hearts survive the fall apart, others carry all the scars, where letters never sent, words that never found their way, two dreamers crossing different tracks, watching love pull away. Beautiful in the beginning, fragile in the end. We became memory, like letters never sent. And if I passed you on the street someday, would we smile or turn away? Would your eyes still recognize the girl who knew your every lie? Maybe some loves aren't meant to stay, they're meant to teach us how to break and how to heal again. Where letters never sent, pages drifting in the wind, a chapter neither one of us could ever fully end. Beautiful in the beginning, heartbreaking in the end. Still I keep your memory like letters never sent. The station sleeps beneath the stars, the tracks stretch endlessly apart, and somewhere far beyond the night, your name still lingers in my mind, like letters never sent. There's a crack running through the living room wall. Funny how I never noticed it at all. Now it's all I see when we sit in silence, two strangers dressed up as an alliance. You scroll through your phone while I search your eyes, looking for the spark that used to light the night. I keep reaching out across the distance, but your hand feels miles away from mine. And I don't know when we started breaking, but I know we're not the same. I'm watching us fade in slow motion, like a photograph left out in the rain. Every promise losing color, every memory slipping away. I'm screaming from the other side of the ocean while you're standing right here next to me. I keep trying to hold the pieces, but you're letting go of everything. We still wear the ring, still sleep in the bed, but all the words I need are stuck inside my head. The space between us grows a little wider every time we choose not to fight for us. The clock keeps ticking in the hallway dark, counting down the beats of a tired heart. And I'm terrified of waking up one morning to find there's nothing left to save. I don't know when we stop believing, but I feel it slipping away. I'm watching us fade in slow motion, like a photograph left out in the rain. Every promise losing color, every memory slipping away. I'm screaming from the other side of the ocean while you're standing right here next to me. I keep trying to hold the pieces, but you're letting go of everything. Letting go of everything. Why? What happened to the plans we made, the names we picked, the dreams we saved, the future painted on the walls? Now it feels like nothing at all, and I would stay through every storm if you would just meet me halfway. But love can't survive on one heartbeat when the other walks away. I'm watching us fade in slow motion, like the last light leaving the sky. Every chapter closing quietly without a reason why. I'm calling out into the darkness, hoping you'll still recognize me. But the hardest part of losing you is knowing you're already leaving. There's a crack running through the living room wall, and now I know it was there all along, just like us, watching us fade. your handwriting inside an old notebook, pressed between pages neither of us ever finished. The ink had faded just a little with the years, but somehow seeing it brought back everything. The corner cafe still has our favorite booth. The waitress asked about you like she always used to, and I smiled politely, said you've been doing fine. Well, my heart remembered a different time. Funny how the smallest things survive long after goodbye. I remember the things we left behind, the photographs, the midnight drives, the promises written in the dashboard light, the dreams we thought would never die. And every street still knows your name, though the seasons have all changed. Some memories grow older with time, but never leave your mind. I remember the things we left behind. It was a summer when the world felt small, when every road somehow led back to your arms. We talked until the sunrise, painted gold on the trees, like forever was as simple as you and me. Now years pass by like trains through town. Faces come and go, but some still stay around. And every now and then a song comes on that takes me back before it all went wrong. Funny how the heart can still return to places it once found. I remember the things we left behind, the photographs, the midnight drives, the promises written in the dashboard light, the dreams we thought would never die. And every street still knows your name, though the seasons have all changed. Some memories grow older with time, but never leave your mind. I remember the things we left behind. Maybe we were never meant to last forever. Maybe some stories shine because they end. Maybe love isn't measured by how long it stays, but by how deeply it lives within you. And if I saw you now, I'd probably smile and let you pass. But somewhere in another lifetime, we're still laughing in that summer grass. I remember the things we left behind, the laughter echoing through July nights, the way your eyes reflected city lights like stars falling from the sky. Though the years have carried us away, some pieces never fade. They're stitched into the fabric of my life like colors that remain. I remember the things we left behind, and I always will. The notebook closes softly in my hands, the pages settle in where they stand, and for a moment you're alive again in the things we left behind. You always had a way with words, turning promises into fireworks, lighting up the darkest skies, then disappearing with the night. I believed every dream you drew, painted my future next to you. But colors fade when truth arrives, and fairy tales don't always survive. I kept waiting for a change to come, but sometimes goodbye is the only one. I'm not the girl who stayed standing in the pouring rain, waiting for somebody else to tell her she's enough. I'm not the girl who cried every single sleepless night, holding on to what was gone. When letting go was right, you thought I'd never walk away. But look at me today, I'm not the girl who stayed. I drive past all the places now, without the weight that pulled me down. The streets don't hurt the way they did, they're just roads I've already lived. The mirror shows a different face, someone stronger in your place, a heart that learned to stand alone and finally found its way back home. I stopped searching for what might have been and started finding myself again. I'm not the girl who stayed standing in the pouring rain, waiting for somebody else to tell her she's enough. I'm not the girl who cried every single sleepless night, holding on to what was gone. When letting go was right, you thought I'd never walk away. But look at me today, I'm not the girl who stayed. And maybe someday you'll look back and wonder why you let me slip away. But by then I'll be miles ahead, chasing dreams you never saw in me. The chapter closes here tonight, and for the first time, that's alright. I'm not the girl who stayed, lost inside the games you played. I've become somebody new, strong enough to choose herself. I'm not the girl you knew, the one who built her world on you. Now my future shines brighter than anything we planned. You thought I'd never find my way, but look at me today, I'm not the girl who stayed. The rain has stopped, the sky is clear, and I'm not afraid of what's out there. 'Cause sometimes losing someone else is how you find yourself. On different sides of goodbye, I saw the storm before it came, the silence hiding in your gaze. We sat across a crowded room while everything between us moved. You said the words were hard to find, but I've been reading every sign, like cracks appearing in a wall before it finally starts to fall. You say I left without a fight, but
But I was drowning every night, trying to carry all the weight of something neither of us could save. I watched us slowly come undone, two shadows hiding from the sun, pretending we were still alright when we were fading out of sight. We were standing in the same place, looking through a different frame. Now we're on different sides of goodbye, watching the same moon cross the sky. You blame the distance, I blame the time, but neither changes what we left behind. And every road we used to know leads somewhere neither of us goes. We're strangers holding memories tonight, on different sides of goodbye, on different sides of goodbye. You always spoke in careful words, leaving so much left unheard. And I kept hoping love would stay if I just gave a little more away. I know I wasn't what you needed,
I know the hurt was undefeated,
but sometimes hearts can lose their way,
even when they wanna stay. We were standing in the same place, living through a different pain. Now we're on different sides of goodbye, watching the same moon cross the sky. You blame the distance, I blame the time, but neither changes what we left behind. And every road we used to know leads somewhere neither of us goes. We're strangers holding memories tonight, on different sides of goodbye.
Did you ever look back
Every single day,
Did you ever wish we'd stayed?
in 1,000 different ways.
Then why did you let go?
Because loving you meant knowing you deserve more than my broken soul.
Maybe that's the tragedy,
Not that we ended,
but that we almost made it.
now we're on different sides of goodbye, still carrying pieces of our lives. You have your reasons, I have mine, but the stars don't care who's wrong or right. And every dream we used to share still lingers softly in the air, like echoes drifting through the night. We're on different sides of goodbye,
But under the same sky.
maybe someday the hurt will fade, maybe someday we'll be okay. Until then, the moon will shine,
On different sides of goodbye,
on different sides of goodbye. I used to draw our names in the margins like they were written into fate. Built a future out of daydreams and never thought they'd break. You wore confidence like armor, I wore trust like a crown. I thought love could conquer anything until it let me down. The story looks so perfect from afar, but fairy tales don't show the scars. The castle wasn't real, the towers disappeared, the magic faded with the truth I'd been too afraid to hear. You weren't the hero of my story, just a chapter I outgrew. And now I'm stronger than the girl who gave her world to you. The castle wasn't real, but I am. I remember every promise floating through the summer air, like fireflies above the fields, beautiful but never there. I spent so long defending the version I believed, while reality was quietly slipping through the seams. Sometimes the hardest thing to learn is knowing when not to return. The castle wasn't real, the towers disappeared, the magic faded with the truth I'd been too afraid to hear. You weren't the hero of my story, just a chapter I outgrew. And now I'm stronger than the girl who gave her world to you. The castle wasn't real, but I am. Now the road is open wide, and I don't need saving anymore. I've learned my heart can be its own guide. I found what I was searching for. And if you ever think about me, I hope you see it too. The girl who stood beside your shadow finally stepped into the view. The castle wasn't real, but the lessons still remain. Every tear became a stepping stone, every loss became a change. You weren't the ending of my story, just a page I turned with grace. And now I'm standing in the sunlight, unafraid to face the day. The castle wasn't real, but I am. No horses running through the night, no rescue waiting in the sky, just a girl who found her way. And that's enough this time. The leaves are turning gold tonight, just like they did that year when we drove with the windows down and the future felt so near. I was too young to understand what I was holding in my hands. I let the best thing I had known walk away alone. Now every season brings me back to moments I can't take back. If I could find that road again, I'd stop before the bitter end. I'd tell you all the things I never said, instead of letting silence win. If I could turn those nights around, I'd hold on tight or stay somehow. But all I've got are memories now, and the wish that I knew then what I know now. I pass the places we once loved. They're strangers dressed in familiar clothes. The coffee shop, the corner street still carry traces of your ghost. Everybody says time heals, but some wounds stay a little real. Some names echo through the years, like songs you never stop hearing. And every autumn breeze reminds me of who I used to be. If I could find that road again, I'd stop before the bitter end. I'd tell you all the things I never said, instead of letting silence win. If I could turn those nights around, I'd hold on tight or stay somehow. But all I've got are memories now, and the wish that I knew then what I know now. Maybe you found a better life. Maybe you're finally alright. Maybe the stars that watched us fall now shine for someone else. But if you ever think of me, I hope you know I finally see the love you gave so freely was everything. If I could find that road again, I'd choose your heart 1,000 times. I'd trade every careless goodbye for one more chance to make it right. But the years keep rolling on like a melody that's almost gone, and all that's left is this song and the wish that I knew then what I know now. The leaves are turning gold tonight, and somewhere underneath the same sky, I send a quiet apology into the wind. The restaurant closed an hour ago. They're stacking chairs and turning off the glow. Your coat still hangs beside the door, like it's waiting for you to walk back in once more. The waiter boxed the untouched cake, the one we ordered for a future we couldn't make. And outside, the city carries on, like nothing important is gone. You looked at me with hopeful eyes, and I couldn't tell a beautiful lie. Now the dress still hangs there in the back of the closet air, a souvenir of a road not taken, a promise left unspoken. And your friends will say you'll find someone new, while mine will wonder what I put you through. But neither side knows how hard it was to choose the dream I had to lose. Your mother still sends holiday cards with my name written softly beside her heart. And every December brings your town to mind, covered in snow. And another lifetime, I hear you're doing better now, building a life I couldn't figure out. And I hope the world is kinder than I was then, back when we reached the end. Sometimes love is not enough to stay, no matter how much you wish it away. Now the dress still hangs there in the back of the closet, a reminder of a different ending, a story
chapter book.
Years from now, if we cross paths again, will we smile like old friends? Will we talk about the weather and the years gone by, or avoid the question in our eyes? 'Cause part of me will always wonder who we might have been if courage had arrived before the ending. The dress still hangs there, though the colors have started to fade, like a photograph tucked inside a drawer of a life that isn't ours anymore. And I still hope you found the kind of love that feels like home when times get tough, 'cause even broken stories can be true. And I'll always wish the best for you. The restaurant's dark now, the lights have all gone down, but somewhere in another world we danced instead of saying goodbye. Headlights paint moving shadows across my bedroom sheets. I still leave the TV on just to fill the empty air. Funny how the quiet gets louder when you're not here. There's a sweater on the chair you forgot back in June. I can't bring myself to move it from the room. Like somehow if it stays exactly where you left it behind, you might walk through that door one more time. Everybody says the hurt will disappear, but nobody tells you how to survive the years. I still hear your goodbye in the middle of the night, like an echo that refuses to fade with time. Every street, every song, every late night drive somehow leads me back to you. And I know the world keeps spinning around, but certain memories never leave this town. No matter how hard I try, I still find you in my mind. The coffee shop on Maple Street closed last fall, the place where we spent hours talking about it all. Now there's an empty window where our reflections used to be, just another reminder of what used to be. I saw your hometown in a photograph online, and for a second it felt like stepping back in time to a version of myself who still believed forever was a guarantee. Everybody says the past belongs behind, but some chapters stay bookmarked in your mind. I still hear your goodbye in the middle of the night, like an echo that refuses to fade with time. Every street, every song, every late night drive somehow leads me back to you. And I know the world keeps spinning around, but certain memories years after the final line, every dream, every star, every passing light somehow carries me to you. And though the years keep rolling by, some memories are too alive to die. No matter where I go, a part of me still knows that at 3:17 a.m. I'll think of you again. The city slowly greets the dawn. Another night comes and is gone, but some goodbyes stay shining long after the lights go out. The train rolled through the midnight rain while we sat silent by the window pane. Your reflection faded in the glass like something beautiful that couldn't last. The ticket stubs are in a drawer from places we don't visit anymore, and every city wears your name, though none of them feel quite the same. We were two hearts chasing different skies, too young to see the warning signs. Oh, we were golden ghosts, shining bright before we disappeared, holding on with trembling hands to something slipping year by year. Beautiful and temporary, like sunlight on the sea. We were golden ghosts, you and me. The autumn wind still knows the road where we carry dreams too heavy to hold. You talked about a life ahead, I talked about the things I never said. Now strangers walk the same old streets, and every cafe echoes memories like pages torn from a favorite book that I still can't stop looking through. Some loves don't break in a single night, they slowly fade from sight. Oh, we were golden ghosts, shining bright before we disappeared, holding on with trembling hands to something slipping year by year. Beautiful and temporary, like sunlight on the sea. We were golden ghosts, you and me. And sometimes I wonder if you do too. Think about the girl who believed in you, and the boy who swore we'd never end, back when forever felt close enough to touch. Maybe that's the tragedy, not that we said goodbye, but that we loved each other deeply and still couldn't survive. Oh, we were golden ghosts, drifting through the halls of memory, a photograph beneath the dust, a song unfinished quietly. Beautiful and temporary, a bittersweet masterpiece. We were golden ghosts, you and me. The train still rolls through midnight rain, and sometimes I still whisper your name to the shadows passing by, like golden ghosts beneath the sky. these green light streets. I took the long way home again tonight, past the diner where we'd stay until closing time. The neon sign still flickers in the dark, like it doesn't know you're gone. The songs we used to sing are on the radio, and somehow every word still feels impossible. I changed the station, but the silence hurts the same. So I let them play. Everybody says that time moves on, but why does every road lead back to us? Now I'm driving through these green light streets, trying to outrun your memory, but every corner has your shadow waiting there for me. And I heard you're doing fine these days, smiling in all the pictures that I can't escape. Guess the world kept turning while I stayed the same on these green light streets. On these green light streets. Your favorite coffee shop painted the walls brand new, but somehow every table still reminds me of you. I swear I saw your jacket through the window glass, then realized it wasn't there. My friends all say I need to let it go, like healing's just a place somebody gets to go. But every little thing becomes another clue leading back to you. Everybody says that hearts can change, but mine still calls your name. Now I'm driving through these green light streets, trying to outrun your memory, but every corner has your shadow waiting there for me. And I heard you're doing fine these days, smiling in all the pictures that I can't escape. Guess the world kept turning while I stayed the same on these green light streets. Maybe someday I'll pass these roads and they won't feel like broken homes. Maybe someday your name won't sound like thunder shaking through this town. But tonight the city glows, and everywhere I go I still see you. I'm driving through these green light streets, with every memory chasing me, and every dream we built still hanging from the rearview scene. And maybe one day I'll be okay, maybe I'll finally find my own escape. But tonight I'm still learning how to leave these green light streets. The lights turn green, but I move slow. Some hearts need longer to let go, and every mile keeps carrying me through green light streets. You're already gone. You said there was nobody else, while your eyes kept drifting somewhere I couldn't follow. You swore we were just going through a phase, but now I know the truth was hiding in the shadows. I remember all those late replies, the way you disappeared for half the night, and somehow I convinced myself everything was alright. Looking back, the warning signs were everywhere, but love can make a lie look fair. You were already gone before you said goodbye. still trying, building dreams for both of us while you were letting go. The hardest thing to realize is I was loving someone already gone. Now your pictures tell a different story, smiles you never gave to me at the end. And everyone says I should move on, but they don't know where the breaking began. Because it wasn't one night or one mistake, it was every promise you chose not to make. Every moment I reached for your hand and found empty space. Now the pieces fit together perfectly in a way I wish I couldn't see. You were already gone before you said goodbye, already writing a different ending while I was reading our last line, holding on to hope while you were letting go. The hardest thing to realize is I was loving someone already gone. And maybe you didn't mean to hurt me, maybe you didn't know how to stay, but that doesn't change the silence or the nights I spent waiting. You left long before you left. That's the part that hurts the most. You were already gone before the final word was spoken, already chasing something else while I was trying to fix what wasn't broken. And now I see the truth, even though it's hard to hold. The hardest thing to realize is I was loving someone already gone. You said goodbye that autumn night, but your heart had left months before. And that's the part I'll never forget. You were already gone. Behind that silver tongue, you walked in like a movie scene, perfect smile, perfect timing. Everybody turned to look at you, and I guess I did too. You knew exactly what to say, turned my doubts into your stage. Every promise sounded gold, every lie felt beautiful. I thought you were a safe place to land, but you were building castles out of sand. Oh, silver tongue, you made poison taste like love, had me falling from the clouds while you watched from high above. You took every piece of trust I gave and left me with the wreckage you made. Now I see who you've always been behind that silver tongue. Funny how the truth arrives like lightning in a summer sky. All the stories started matching up, every crack I covered up. You were collecting hearts like trophies, leaving scars nobody sees. And I was just another name added to your favorite game. I kept defending you for far too long, even when I knew something was wrong. Your silver tongue, you made poison
broken, and I'm waking up. You took every piece of trust I gave, but you don't get the girl you changed. Now I see who I've become because of your silver tongue. The story's over, curtain falls. Your voice doesn't own me anymore, and the silence sounds a little sweeter without your silver tongue. I learned your favorite movies, started reading all the books you loved, changed the way I wore my hair and laughed a little softer than I was. I memorized your coffee order, stayed up talking till the sun came through. Thought if I became your perfect picture, I'd finally be someone you'd choose. But every step I took toward you pulled me farther from myself. And I wonder why I spent so long trying to be somebody else, hoping you'd see something worth keeping in a heart that needed help. I gave away pieces of me just to fit your point of view. And now the hardest thing to face is I was never meant to be someone you choose. You always praise the parts of me that look the most like what you wanted, and every time I lost myself, you barely even noticed. I kept mistaking your attention for the kind of love that's true. But looking back, I see the difference between being seen and being used. I was bending till I almost broke, trying to hold on to help. And I wonder why I spent so long trying to be somebody else, hoping you see something worth keeping in a heart that need help. I gave away pieces of me just to fit your point of view. And now the hardest thing to face is I was never meant to be someone you choose. Maybe love is never supposed to feel like an audition every day. Maybe the right person won't ask me to throw myself away. And maybe all those nights I cried were leading me to realize I don't have to earn a place in somebody's life. Now I know why I spent so long trying to be somebody else. I forgot the girl I was before. I needed someone else's help. You couldn't see the best in me, but that doesn't make it untrue. And now the strongest thing I'll say is I don't need to be someone you choose. The mirror looks a little clearer now. The silence doesn't hurt as loud, and for the first time in a while, I'm choosing me. Heard from somebody downtown, you're smiling more these days, posting pictures at the places we said we'd go someday. And she looks at you like sunlight, like she doesn't know the rain that lives behind your blue eyes, the kind I learned to name. And honestly, I hope you're healing. I just wish it didn't hurt this way. I want you happy, I really do. I hope she gives you everything I couldn't give to you. But when you hold her close at night and she kisses you to sleep, I hope she's good for your heart, just not better than me. Maybe she laughs at all your jokes and memorizes your coffee order. Maybe she never starts a fight or cries when things get harder. And maybe that's the reason you seem lighter in her hands, while I'm still trying to understand how fast forever ends. And honestly, I hate admitting, part of me still hopes you miss me. I want you happy, I really do. I hope she gives you everything I couldn't give to you. But when you hold her close at night and she kisses you to sleep, I hope she's good for your heart, just not better than me. Maybe that's selfish, maybe that's wrong, but love doesn't disappear just because someone's gone. And every memory still lingers like smoke inside my lungs. So forgive me if I'm struggling to watch you moving on. I want you happy, more than you know. I hope she finds the parts of you I was scared to hold. But if someday you think of us when her hand is in your reach, I hope she makes you smile, just not better than me. 'Cause losing you is hard enough without losing what we used to be. And I can live with goodbye, just not being replaced so easily. You walked in like a storm at midnight, chaos dressed in city lights. Everybody warned me not to stay, but I loved you anyway. You had a way of making damage feel romantic in the moment, and I kept painting over cracks, pretending we could make it last. I knew your hands would break my heart, but I still held them in the dark. 'Cause loving you felt like a beautiful disaster, like dancing barefoot through broken glass after glass. And even when it hurt me, I kept coming back to the flames. Now every scar still whispers your name. And maybe that's the saddest part, I would have ruined myself for you over and over again. I covered for your silence, turn excuses into science, made
made your distance sound like fear instead of what it really was. And all my friends could see it clearly, while I defended you sincerely. Guess love can blur the sharpest truth until it cuts right through. I should've walked away back then, but I would've chosen you again. 'Cause loving you felt like a beautiful disaster, like chasing lightning, knowing it would leave a scar. And every time you left me, I still waited where you were. Now every memory burns a little worse, and maybe that's the saddest part. I would've ruined myself for you, just to stay inside your arms. Maybe some people aren't meant to heal together. Maybe some hearts only know how to collide. But for a while you made the world feel brighter, even while you slowly dimmed mine. And I hate that part of me still misses the chaos wrapped inside your kiss. 'Cause loving you was a beautiful disaster, a wildfire I mistook for stars. And though the smoke still fills my lungs, at least I know now who you are. Every scar still tells the story of a girl who loved too hard. And maybe that's the saddest part. I'd still write songs about you if you asked. You were beautiful, you were reckless, you were everything I should have left behind.